What is good, my ladies and gentlemen, and germs and transformer phobics? This is Streetlight Babble, and we'll be reviewing
Baby Driver by Edgar Wright.
Yes, Baby Driver by Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright's newest little cinematic masterpiece. I was really excited for this movie. I like pretty much every Edgar Wright movie. His cinematography, his framing shots. He's very clever when it comes to filming. It's just really great. Everything about Baby Driver is great.
Writing's good too. The writing is in most of his movies, and included in this one too, are quite funny. Got lots of little one-liners here and there, and he also utilizes his visual comedy quite well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Baby Driver is a movie about a young, handsome man who's great at driving a getaway car, assisting a criminal enterprise to which he owes his a lot of money to.
Yeah, he did something bad, and now he's got to pay the price to the bad guys.
Now, pretty much every character, you immediately understand who they are as a person. Everyone is chosen well. A lot of big name actors, people from Wolf of Wall Street to Mad Men to Kevin Spacey. Every single character that you're gonna see is just immediately gonna pop off the screen at you. All their motivations are going to be immediately known. They all have their weird quirks. They're all interesting in their own ways.
But you understand, like you said, they understand where they all come from. They all have quite well-written character arcs, and some of the twists and turns that come in the movie are well-deserved.
Yeah, and understood. Characters don't really do things without motivation, just to move the plot forward. It all makes sense. It's all written well, I would say.
Yeah, so speaking of those characters, what do you think of our lead, Baby, portrayed by Ansel Elgort?
Yeah, that's a new name I haven't heard before, and he did a really good job.
He was in The Fault in Our Stars.
It's difficult to do a very stoic performance while bringing some emotion. He's just sitting there mostly with his headphones in the beginning of the movie, and I thought I was going to get a very dry and stoic performance, but as more emotion came in, he actually did a pretty good job. The little subtleties of his character, it was all done well, I think. It was all done pretty well. I liked it.
I too. One thing I really liked about his character was for the majority of the time, unless he was talking with the female lead, he was always moving. He was always kind of either dancing or flowing with the rhythm of the movie, which was
a lot of eye movement across the screen,
which was good. It didn't really feel like anything with his character stagnated for the most part. In the times where it was a little bit slower, it was more character driven than plot driven. Speaking of that leading lady, we had Deborah, portrayed by Lily James, who is kind of an up-and-comer. She's done a couple of things. She was in that Cinderella movie a couple years ago, Downton Abbey, and now she's in Baby Driver.
Yeah, she did a pretty good job. Very, very emotional performance. Kind of the young, wild, and wants to be free. And her southern accent, you did point out, was kind of inconsistent at times.
Yeah, but she's still coming into her own. She's a British actress, and first couple movies, I always feel like whenever you got a British actor or actress that's trying to do an American accent, it always comes up a little bit wooden, but I feel the more gigs she gets, the better it'll kind of iron out.
Kevin Spacey was pretty much just kind of most of the Kevin Spacey characters that you've seen lately. He used to have a lot more. He used to choose a lot more performances that show off his range, and lately I feel he's been kind of stagnating with that. His most diverse performance has been Frank Underwood in House of Cards.
Yeah.
But he did a pretty good job. A lot of subtleties in his character. You can kind of see the gears turning of him, how he thinks, and
knowing who's kind of betraying him behind his back, but still, just being driven by that greed. He wants that money.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx's performance was kind of
the weakest.
He was more telling you how crazy he was than actually being crazy. I mean, he really got intimidating at the end of the story, and we'll touch more on that in the spoiler review, but kind of the weakest. But yeah, those were our mains. There was the dude in the Mad Men.
John Hamm.
John Hamm did a really good job. His character, everything his character did make sense. You know, he was kind of a nice guy, kind of pushed to do certain things by, and everything kind of made sense. So really good there.
Yeah.
I wanted to touch on the cinematography too. The cinematography was pretty well done. It was all synced up to the music because Mr. Baby Driver would be listening to his musicals, and all the action would be syncing up, whether it's him walking down the street or a fight happening.
And there's like gunshots going off to the drum beats of each.
Yeah, and a lot of that's quite difficult to do. Edgar Wright has played with that a little bit, but he hasn't done it as much as he did in this film. So I rather enjoyed it. It kept a great flow to the movie. The movie did actually slow down when there was no music, but perhaps I only noticed that because there was no music.
Exactly, but during those moments, it was a lot more about the character arcs being a little bit more fleshed out, which was totally fine. I feel if they would have taken those slower moments in a different direction, it probably wouldn't have worked as well, but they really wanted to emphasize, and we saw this with a friend of ours, and he kind of pointed out that, you know, whenever the music is going on, it's kind of him just out in the world trying to deal with what's going on, and then whenever the music's off, it's him he's in his ideal situation. He's like, okay, this is where I want to be right now.
I would say so. And the score itself is pretty great. It's all of just a bunch of songs that he's mixed up. Played some Queen from the more hard rock, heavy metal era of Queen, which was pretty great. A lot of great stuff. Very visually interesting. Always moving. Always keeping you interested. Great movie. I liked it. It was a good movie. It was very nice. Some of the climax was a bit too cliche at times, but it was very. But this movie is very much style. It's
a very stylistic,
very stylistic movie.
And from a technical standpoint, it's pretty well done.
Yep. So, what would you give this movie numerically?
Well, Chris, I think you and I are in agreement on this one.
Yeah, I'd say
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. It's a great movie. You should go see it.
Oh yeah, couple of slight problems, but overall, really good movie. I'm so glad we're finally past the crap that we got in June, the exception of Wonder Woman. But yeah, overall, good movie. Go see it.
Go see this movie. Go see this movie. You know it'd be good. It's Edgar Wright movie. It's Fast and Furious if it was good.
If it was good. All right, well, stay tuned. We're going to be getting that spoiler review out a little bit later. Not a lot to talk about, but there are some key plot points that we couldn't touch on just yet. So stay tuned. See you guys later.